Hello, and welcome to not episode 2, the second question of our weekly debate. Now it's my question. My question is, are streaming services killing cinema?
Oh, that's a good question.
And adding on to it, do you think streaming services will be the end of cinema as we know it?
That's a good question.
I'll add some context to it. Obviously, over the last year, we've had COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of that, studios like Warner Brothers and Disney and Sony, I believe, have decided to send their movies instead of putting it in the cinema because no one can watch them, or pushing it back. They would put them online on streaming services, on demand, on Disney Plus, or on HBO Max in America. My question, but because of this, places like View, Odeon, and in America, ACM or AMC, sorry, these big cinema chains who would get like millions of dollars each year have been struggling. And I believe AMC nearly went out of business at the end of last year because no one was going in. So do you think with streaming services, obviously now that they're getting load more movies and stuff, because I think Netflix have a movie called Don't Look Up coming out in December, which has a star-studded cast. So you got DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, and all them lot. Do you think streaming services getting these types of movies are going to end the cinema, like the whole cinema as we know it?
No, and it links in with last week. Like you guys both had Infinity War and MK had Endgame as his number one, and it was down to the cinematic experience. So like, and like, so like, as much as like streaming services might be taken away, like if you look at all of the like Oscar like nominations, they're still going into cinema. Now obviously that's because to be nominated for the Oscars you need to have a theatrical run, but even then they're being forced into that. And then also like it's just something different about the cinema. Like as much as people will talk about streaming services are doing this, they will still go to the cinema. We will still go to the cinema. The only trouble has been the pandemic, innit? Like, the pandemic has hit us, but before that, I feel like the cinemas were doing fine. Like they were doing good. And like it's just the pandemic which has hit us. But even then, like now the movies are more coming out like back into the cinemas again. Like June just hit like 36 million, and like in the other countries that it was in, because obviously it's not here and it's not in America, I think. So like it's like I think people, the time away has actually benefited them because more people will be like, I miss going to the cinema. Like as much as watching movies has been fun for the last few years, that cinematic feel is just different. So I feel like people will be rushing back to get in now that there's more vaccination, now that the virus is like taking a little, like people aren't thinking about it as much and stuff is opening up. I feel like that cinematic experience is hard to match, and I think it'll rebound heavily like in the next year, probably, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree completely. You can't really replicate cinematic experience. You can't do it. Like even if you try, just do it like a projector somewhere, it's not the same. And like I mean, we may be biased. There might be other people that might say, it can easily be replaced. You can like streaming services can be the one now. Like all you have to do is just download or just even watch it like with obviously whatever. So Disney Plus, you can watch any Marvel movie, anything from Disney. You can do with Netflix and everything. So people might say, the new era is the streaming service era. But I think there could be, I don't know if there's any numbers around, but I don't even think the decline amount with the rise of stream services, I don't think that was a massive decline in cinema. I don't think, it doesn't feel like anyways. So yeah, I think cinema is like a heritage to everybody, like especially the Western countries. Cinema is like a heritage. It's been there for years and years, and it'll still be there because the experience can't be really rivaled.
Oh yeah, I get what you guys are saying, but also taking into account, do you think something like, obviously we've seen in years gone by, you see like VHS tapes going redundant, DVDs are slowly becoming redundant, other than like collectors and stuff buying them and keeping them on shelves and stuff. Do you think there will come a time where streaming services get all the big movies, and then cinema will sort of seem like it's come redundant. And then, like Azam was saying, how the Academy said that they only watch stuff coming out in cinema, or they only take stuff that has theatrical run. You think there'll come a time where they'll be like, okay, we can see that the way that movies being released is shifting. And so now we have to take into account that movies can come on streaming services as well, instead of having to have that theatrical run.
I actually think it might be different. I think Netflix and Prime and all that, if like one of the big cinema places goes down, I think they make their own cinemas and they do their own thing there, because
Yeah, boy.
you'd be capitalizing on a big market. You can sell it for cheaper because like you've got a big corporate, like your Netflix, your Amazon, like these guys can just shove money into stuff because they're getting that money back. And one of the main criticisms with something like Netflix is the only way they get new subscribers is when they release new stuff. That's why they don't really like renewing their old TV shows. So obviously, if they get cinema, that's another revenue stream that they've got going on down there.
Yeah,
And it'll actually be really smart in my.
just touching on that, I just realized what's stopping Netflix or Amazon, especially Amazon, because they're doing everything now, of just making an Amazon cinema. Like, what's stopping them?
Let me see. Netflix. Like the top 10 is like.
'Cause Amazon can just do anything really.
Is there, but like clickbait is there as well, and
Like you said, yeah, like you said, Blockbuster and all. Like no one ever thought that these, like from back in the day, that they were ever shut down. But streaming services is the one that shut them down. But I don't even think even then streaming services could shut down the cinemas, because it's more ingrained into British culture or American culture, or whatever, in the Western cultures. So I just don't see it getting replicated by just on your laptop or on your phone. But like Adam said, it can be that Netflix or any big company can just take over these cinemas and just make it their own. But a Netflix cinema sounds ridiculous. Not even possible.
I think the main
possible.
thing is more TV shows, because like Netflix, they like they put everything out like that day in it, and it's increasing like binging culture. So like normally we're so used to like one episode a week and then you have that week for discourse. But now like Corey Barlog, who like made the God of War game, said, as much as I like that week of speaking, I prefer Netflix's model of like just dropping everything, and it's like our different mind where everything has to be now. Whereas before it used to be like much more slow and methodical. So like
Disney though.
Yeah, and like stuff is more like, I don't know. It feels like stuff has to be more snappy to get your attention because they want you to binge faster, rather than you can't really have that much like slow stuff anymore. Like you have to grab the attention quick, otherwise you'll just watch something else.
Yeah,
that's
especially
like
the
stuff I watch.
Yeah.
When I try to recommend to you guys to watch slow stuff, no, has to have action and everything. Have to cater everything around you people. Terrorists.
The Last Kingdom didn't have that. I mean, that's the last for it. But even then, like,
it's
you
game
can't really
as well. I'm so sad.
Screw Netflix. But yeah, like, imagine trying to do like every episode and wait a week later for certain shows that start slow. It wouldn't grab the attention like that.
It's something like Breaking Bad, for instance. I even with Breaking Bad, yeah, as much as I'm like, I can understand why people really like it. It's so slow to me, and there's just some stuff that I'm like, all right, can you just get a bit faster? And I know that's not to some people's taste, but to me, it's just like, it's excessive to me. Like, ugh. But even then, maybe that's just because I'm so used to other stuff that I'm just like, I can't do it with this.
But exactly, you see, I say you're so used to, like, maybe what happens like years later, people are like so used to streaming services, like new ones now, Disney Plus, that they can't be asked to go to cinemas anymore. Or if they change their model to a point where the cinemas and the Disney Plus, whatever streaming services just release at the same time, that would definitely make an impact. Now, I don't think what Marvel whoever releases a movie, they release it first to cinemas, then to streaming services. Right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know they did with what they did with Black Widow was release on Disney Plus at the same day it went to cinema. But then you do get the argument from the actors themselves that, oh, I know I get a share of the revenue, but I'm not going to get the share of that of the amount of revenue I should do if you're going to put it on a streaming service in the first place. Because like Disney, you pay, was it £30 for Premier Access to
That's
watch a
way
movie?
too much, bro.
Yeah,
But
considering
then see like Black Widow as well, paying 30 quid for that.
considering cinema tickets are like £5.99 now. That's
Yeah.
quite a lot
Yeah,
of
the
money
way
compared
they
to
get this stuff is overpriced and all the food. Like £5 for a Doritos bag. You need to fix up. I remember that. No,
I
that's
think go to corner shops or whatever, but yeah, there is gonna be a point where cinemas are definitely gonna. They will be mad. No, not mad decline, but they will be in decline. But I don't think it will end cinemas. I just don't. I can't see it in the near future.
I think something will just have to change. Like
I mean,
the cinema experience will change.
Yeah, something will change.
to be fair, cinemas, like, I don't know about American cinemas because I don't live in America. I know cinemas here are starting to do more than just movies. Like they had the BTS concert there.
I do remember that.
They show football matches there as well. The
Yeah,
Champions League final, Europa League final, both in the cinema. They show BT Sports their Premier League games weekly. They show in the cinema.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah, so you're right.
So, and then like they do show theater shows and old plays and shit. So I guess in a way that they're trying to make themselves like less, oh, we're just movies, and more, okay, we're not just movies, we're entertainment as a whole.
yeah, I think that would be more. I think that's way better as well, because you don't get that like big like projector thing with all the nice like audio anywhere else, and you also don't get that feel like with other people. Like a large part of why most people like the Endgame isn't because they watch it at home and they're like, because when you rewatch it, bloody hell, it drags, man. It drags so much. But like when you're there and you're just like waiting for the ending and everyone's screaming and shouting and laughing and you're joining in with them, it's just different.
Yeah, you can't replicate it.
I watched it. And then when I rewatched it, like on my TV, I was like, this isn't as good as I think it was. And it's because everyone was so like united. That was just like it made for something way better.
Yeah.
You won't get that streaming service.
You would. That's why, like I said, you can't replicate it. It's impossible. I don't think it's possible anyways. But it's just different. Like even just everything's about it different. Like, you can't really replicate it. Even if you try to replicate it, that means you're just copying. So what's the point? Might as well just go to a cinema in the first place. So yeah, I think that for definitely for now and maybe definitely a few years later down the line, I just don't see cinemas getting like made redundant or closing down, whatever. Yeah,
viewers, as you can see, the debate is actually, it should be renamed to The Agreement because we never disagree.
We have to disagree on that one. I'm telling you, it's hard to disagree. Like it's like just.
I mean, in saying this, we do agree, but then do you think you could see a side with cinema where not in the near future, but in the future as a whole, you can see something like the cinemas being redundant?
Some obviously there'll be times where some like local cinemas might just close down out of nowhere, but the main ones like the one at Leicester Square, that ain't closing down. Literally everybody goes there.
That's a fucking haven.
Yeah, it's just like even random movies, just people are rocking up for no reason. So yeah, I just don't see that. No way. I can't see it. Not definitely not in the near future, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe future, but
yeah.
So far, I think if cinemas just are more malleable, they'll be calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They have to be able to change with what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, they can't be like, but we're giving you better films. So no, it's like, bro, in the changing landscape of the world, you're gonna have to just change a bit, just be entertainment, and you'll be calm. Then people will actually come out again. Like the BTS concert, I saw their people were going to that. So
yeah,
it's not like the demand isn't there.
No, they also show anime movies as well now, isn't it?
Oh, anime movies are so sick.
I think Dragon Ball was there.
Yeah, that smashed it. Demon Slayer movie smashed it.
Yeah.
This is The Agreement. You know, we'll be back soon. Question that causes major disruptions, but we are too similar, as you can see. We're too good.
Oh man.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.